Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New-Eurekan Poets Cafe. I will be your host for the evening. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Monday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We've been doing this for 172 weeks. Can you believe it? Can you dig it? Here we go. One more. We do this every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number is on your screen right now. It is 279-995-364. Trust and believe it is a different world inside the Zoom. Come and join the greatest community in the world. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to neweurekan.org/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $New-Eurekan Poets Cafe. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. Also, make sure you are plugging in with the squad. Shout out C4, we bomb atomically. It is, listen, the host of Thunderlung Thursdays, the host of is coming. The B, listen, so many things. Change is necessary, right? There is no progress without change, right? And every name you see on this list is about to change. Trust and believe. Make sure you are plugging in with so many things. I'm telling you, it's Storm Force season. It is going down. Tonight's theme, permanent ink. Writing destiny, right? Adding to the pages of poetry. What does it mean to write destiny through poetry, right? Because of course we all know poems are permanent ink, right? How serious do you take that, right? I'm one of those cats that, hey, listen, I love this because it's what I do, right? So I take every poem very seriously. So I'm looking forward to what everyone brings this evening. Of course, if your poem is not on theme, that's totally cool. We are still looking forward to every ounce of artistry you share with us this evening. All right. Next week's theme coming at y'all. Ready? Finding balance. Self-care. All right. I want to hear, and the community wants to hear about the importance of being in balance with the universe, right? Creating our harmony. Why is self-care so important to that balance, right? Chakra alignment, right? Why are those things important, right? So let's share our poetic license and our artistic views of this world and talk about finding balance. So I'm looking forward to all the incredible, everything that you bring with this incredible theme. So make sure you bring it all next week. Let's get to the rules so we can get to the poetry. Yeah, damn, we got some here, but let's get to them. Poets, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful expressions that go into your poetry delivery. Also, make sure you are changing your name in the Zoom to coincide with what you want people to connect with, all right? Plus, I love to see if you're going to figure out these backgrounds. So, turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready to rip, make sure to have your poem ready, all right? If you're going analog, dog ear the page if necessary. If you're going digital, have the file ready to rock and ready to get down. If you're using music, that's totally cool, right? Make sure you're using original music, right? If you're even playing an instrument, make sure you're using original sound, all right? Original sound, original music. We don't want the agents of the interweb interfering with our streams in any way, all right? Original sound, original music, we're good to go. Poets, you got 3 minutes to rock, all right? And a 30-second intro. Let the folks know how they can connect with you online. You see these wrap it up boxes. Changes are coming, all right? I continue to say about respecting each other and respecting the time, all right? We will get to this. I don't want to time cop anybody, but respect the people, respect the community. I'm telling you, changes are coming. All right. We have reached night 30 for the babies. There are some explicit lyricists in our community, and they sometimes may trigger some incredible flashbacks, all right? But the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in every vein of what we do. Therefore, there is no censorship other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate people, which will not, I said not be tolerated. There is no censorship, all right? Thou hast been warned. I promise you. You're going to hear something tonight. Thou hast been warned. This is a true call and response space. After the poets get up here and they rip open a main artery, a part of their soul, and they give it to you, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share that energy with the room. Don't worry about the noise. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. Unmute yourself and let all of these beautiful poets know that you feel what they're doing. Every ounce of energy you share with the poets, they will return to you in their poetic performance. So let them know about it. Sign up tonight is closed, right? The list opens Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to newyourekan.org, you click on full events calendar, click on the Monday you want to perform. You need an artist RSVP ticket to get on the guaranteed list, and they will not populate until 24 hours before the show. Also going on in the brick and mortar, the Monday night open mic with Supreme. That's gonna, flip around a little bit. I believe the one and only Felicia Cade, they are going to alternate that space, right? Of course, we know Thunderlung Thursdays is going down with the Queen, Ray Jane. Also, Friday night with Jive. Shout out Paco. It goes down on Friday night. If you're anywhere in the tri-state, make sure you fall through for Jive on Friday. It goes down. Also, Chevy, right after Jive. Listen, doesn't matter what time you get there, it's going down. Trust and believe. All right, y'all. Listen, I don't know if you saw it today, but it's going down. It's official. Hybrid is back in the building, right? Hosted by the dopest hostess in the Zoomverse, who's going to be on stage, the one and only Ray Jane, right? I will be hosting online, right? Make sure you follow through. Plus, there's a karaoke after party hosted by the one and only Paul Queso. Storm Forces in the building. I'm telling y'all, it's going down. Make sure you plug in. Tickets are available now. The QR codes are active. Make sure you plug in. It is going down, y'all. All right. Tonight's list. Look at these beautiful names. You see the color on here. There are a few folks who did reach out and said they weren't be able to make it tonight, but we will make sure we show them love. Listen, let's get to it. There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. Oh my goodness, it is always great to see y'all. Let's get to it. As I'm posting the list in the chat, coming up first, oh my goodness. And I'm glad. Listen, this poet, I've been talking about their new book coming up, and they have received it. And I want to make sure that they don't forget about it. Make sure you plug it all the way in the screen. Coming up in the Set It Off spot this evening, the one and only Vex Lex is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know what you got going on, Lex. And it's always great to see you. Set it off this evening. Come on.
Thank you, as always, Elemen2al. Yes, like he said, I finally got my book. It's called Ask Me Again in 6 months. Words can't even express how happy I am to finally be published. If you want to plug in with me, Vex Lex Poetry on Instagram, you can DM me for a copy. Or if you're taking a social media break, head to my website, officialvexlex.com, fill out the form, and I can get you your copy that way. Again, so excited. So this piece I wrote to theme tonight. It's called Permanence. I am indelible, not one to be easily discarded or immediately disregarded. I am inevitable, a perpetual feeling and intentional meaning. What you see is permanence. So determine if you will continue to play along. I am a fight song, the right kind of wrong. This destiny is vexed. So don't act perplexed when I remind you that I am here to stay. You cannot ignore me while I implore you to remember my name. I am Vexed Lex, someone who was complex. You cannot erase me, try to deface me, but I will still rise. Rise above your wildest dreams. My screams will not fall upon deaf ears. This is a reminder that I am something you will still feel throughout the years. Thank you.
No doubt about it. That's how you do it, Lex. Woo-hoo! Unmute yourself. Give it up for Vex Lex.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm telling y'all, look, Starship is underway. I'm telling you, we getting to it. Thank you, Lex, for setting us off this evening. Oh, trust me, I see you, Abraham Kamani, with the new dude. We'll get to you, sir. Listen, appreciate you, Lex. Again, their book is called Ask Me Again in 6 months. Listen, they said, I am a fight song. Are you kidding? Like that's a whole poem in itself, Lex. Like, how many pieces are in the band that play your fight song, and when do they play your fight song? You feel me? Like, that's just, it's so much to that, Lex. Appreciate that. Listen, make sure you plug in with Vex Lex and get their manuscript. Listen, it's something to hold that in your hands. Really. Put it back up, Lex. Make sure they see the cover so they know what it is. Truly, it's something else about that. For real. Appreciate you, Lex. All right. Coming up next, oh my goodness, this incredible poet continues to come through. Woo! And I love when their counterpart is also in the building. This man is a genius, I promise you. The one and only Jeff Cottrell is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can connect with you and Pinky. Please take it away. Always great to see you.
All right, connect with me at jeffcottrell.com and Facebook and Twitter, and I've got new shit tonight. And I think it's kind of on theme too, but it's not really by me. It's everybody's been talking lately about artificial intelligence and how that's going to take over writing and stuff. I thought I would give it a go, do my own AI poem. So this is AI poem. Hello, this is Real Poem by Real Poet. Here is metaphor for futility of life. Life is undercooked pie, devoured by crabs in heat, in purple Commodore 64 computer, divided by 43. Why is sky green? Because there is no bananas in portrait of my last duchess. My name is Ozymandias, hear me roar. And she is buying Stairway in the Park with George. Summertime, and your mother is easy. And I guess that is why they call it Blue Velvet. Exit, pursued by Bear Bodkin. Now, Real Poet tries to obtain Arts Council grant. Hello, this is conventional literary poet. Poet writes about nature and poet's pet cat and struggles of poet's immigrant family before poet was born, and wild caribou, that is symbol for futility of life, and much alliteration and sound bonding. An error has occurred. To continue, press enter to return to the stanza, or press Control-Alt-Delete to restart the poem. If you do this, you will lose any unsaved imagery in all of the previous lines. Error OE 016F BFF 9B3D4. Press any key to continue. 0% complete. 13% complete. 34% complete. 57% complete. 78% complete. 93% complete, 98% complete, 99% complete, 100% complete. Hello, this is Real Poet. Now Real Poet tries to score high slam points. Hello, this is Slam Poet. Poet is very politically aware and cares deeply about relevant social issues and uses audience as personal group therapy and uses word awesome sauce for laugh and ends poem before 3-minute time limit. Real poem ends now. Signed, Real Poet. So there's my experiment with AI poetry. I've got a book for sale and a big feature coming up next month. That's me.
Yeah, yeah, we all got that too. Unmute yourself, give it up for Jeff.
Yeah.
Summertime and your
Yes.
mother is easy.
That
Yeah.
was so good, Jeff. I loved that. That was hilarious. And yeah, you attacked. Some people feel attacked. I love that for you.
Easy, like, come on, man, come on. Commodore 64. Listen, if you don't know about Commodore 64, do your research, right? Summertime and your mother is easy. Right, I saw that. Jedi Master, right? He said we use awesome sauce in their poems. Like, come on. Shade to the Cottrell. Like, for real. 016F, like, come on, man. To return to the stanza, like, come on, man. This dude did his own, like, telephone prop, right? But I have to say how much I love the percentage update on the poem, right? 74%, 93%, 98%. Like, I just appreciate that. Real poem ends now. Yeah. I think that's pretty much how AI would do it. But trust and believe, you better make sure you're on top of your because AI is coming for all of us. Appreciate you, Jeff Cottrell, for staying on all of it. Oh, make sure you're plugged in with Jeff Cottrell, a mainstay of our community. Coming up next, Mr. Lighthouse Writer himself, a true blacksmith of our community, continues to come through with brand new, sharp. Oh, I love when this poet comes through. The one and only Michael Sindler is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can connect with you online, sir. Always great to see you. Please.
Yes, always great to see you as well. And Jeff, thanks for attacking the existential enemy that is artificial intelligence. People do not understand just how evil it is, but you did it with great humor. I am going to immediately put up lighthousewriters.org, which is an organization I believe in a lot and does great things, both as far as just learning the craft of writing and how to get it out there, but also building community of writing. So, well worth just taking a minute. You're already on your computer, just type it in there, lighthousewriters.org, and look at all the wonderful things it has to offer. While you were very nice to say how I usually have new stuff, and I do have some new stuff, but I've chosen not to because I heard this prompt and I was like, oh, I better do something on this prompt. I usually don't, but I do. So I went back and I found this one that I thought fit. It's called Spun Black. Pen poised, ink laden tip, tantalizes clean blue line page, urging rolling ball to rest upon surface, skate sharp lines of wet black, scratching surface of white pad poetics, short strokes of clarity, run-on riffs running to edge, getting lost in mark-out marshes of incomplete erasure, chosen and unchosen phrases just hidden enough not to hinder. Flow, words roll from brain down arm to dance, liquids late of language drying into sketchy fragile strokes, thoughts laid gently upon sheet to rest and regroup, pause, stroke, pause, pattern emerging, syllables play amongst themselves, extend off into sentence, some fragment forms staccato stepping stones, veer and weave zigzagging paths, whole surface alive, spun filigree of verse, open spaces lend air to lace of iconography, imagination's foundations blueprinted between horizontals, descending documentation, trails towards temporal conclusion, momentary myth of completion resting between recitation, recombination, and recapitulation. Each pause on a page, a space for dreams. Pen rests, ink waits, still more tales to flow in time from spun black onto sheer white. And I'm just going to do one more that I'm still in my mood that I've been in for a little while here. And this is an old sonnet, not that old, but not new, called XOXOX. Out of all the X's, a few are still XOXOX. Bonds still remain that stretch decades long, more left in the memory than just good sex, deepening friendships still going strong. That attraction sparked when we first met still exists, though in a different form. Luck of the draw, or perhaps kismet. Lust's flame is cooled, but love is still warm. There are many whose names are forgotten, but more than a handful were consequential. Affairs that were sad or misbegotten, one lost too soon, for which I'm reverential. Now more than mere fond recollection, I'm blessed with lasting fond affections. Okay, thank you all very much.
Told y'all again, this is the Blacksmith Academy, and this dude is the chancellor. Unmute yourself, give it up for Michael Sidler.
Michael,
Love it.
Beautiful.
Always, Michael. Always.
Like I just love when Michael Sindler, what Michael Sindler does, because not only does he come with thought-provoking poetry, he always has a style for you, right? Whether it's a villanelle or a sonnet, this gentleman always just weaves in his words so magically. Again, like a blacksmith folding in steel, right, to temper it, to make it that much stronger, right? Chosen and unchosen phrases, like this is what he does, right? And then a pattern emerging, right? I love that again, the whole blacksmith thing, right? It's just, but also as a poet, right, as we're writing our poems, the pattern does emerge, right? Again, it's the chaos theory in action, right? Things that seem disjointed and unconnected, eventually a pattern emerges and we end up with poetry. Thank you, Michael Sindler, for being such a valued member of our community. The whole XOXOXO thing, like, come on, stretch decades long. Come on, like, of course, we beer and weed, zigzagging paths. Yeah. We know it. It's called timelines. Appreciate you. Make sure you plug in with lighthousewriters.org. Again, this gentleman wouldn't be mentioning this space for years now if it wasn't beneficial. So plug in. Coming up next, I hope you got your medulla strapped on tight because he's about to shake it up. And Oblong gotcha with what he does. It's time for our Tez Talk, y'all. The one and only Mr. Teza Somok is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Mr. Tez. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Elemental, and thank you to the New Yorican Poets community.
It's another wonderful Monday night, and I have a piece to share. You folks can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. This piece is titled, There Were Large Chunks. Scene, news studio, male anchor. Welcome back to our evening news broadcast. We have a tragic story coming out of California today that has left a family devastated. Female anchor. That's right, Mark. A young mother lost her life in a horrifying accident at a local park. Our correspondent, Stephen M. Lepore, has the details. Stephen. Cut to Stephen M. Lepore reporting from the scene. Stephen M. Lepore. Thank you, Sarah. I'm here at Beer Brook Park in Modesto, where a heartbreaking incident occurred just last week. Christine Chavez, a 27-year-old mother, was laying in a weed-filled area at the park when she was tragically run over by a large commercial tractor-tow finish mower. Cut to commercial break. Commercial 1, E.J. Gallo Winery. Male voiceover. Looking for a refreshing drink to unwind after a long day of mowing your lawn? Try the exquisite wines from E.J. Gallo Winery. Indulge in the rich flavors and savor the moments that matter. Just as you fold away that mower and close the garage, pull out a bottle of E.J. Gallo Winery, where passion meets perfection. Cut to footage of the park. Stephen M. Lemore. Witnesses say that a grass cutter operating a John Deere tractor with a pull-behind mower was unaware of Christine's presence and accidentally mowed over her. It was only after the incident that the body was discovered. Cut to commercial break. Commercial 2, Grover Landscaping Services. Female voiceover. Are you in need of professional landscaping services? Look no further than Grover Landscaping Service. Our experienced team will transform your outdoor spaces into beautiful oases. By subcontracting with us, you will add a legal level of insulation for any tragic events on your property. Trust Grover Landscaping Services for all your landscaping needs. Cut to interview with Christine Chavez's father. Christopher Chavez. There were large chunks of my daughter laying around. They made chorizo out of her. There were many pieces of her remains scattered around the area, and it was absolutely terrible. I called the police, and even now I still have pieces of her skull and some teeth. It's unimaginable. Cut back to Stephen M. Lepore. Stephen M. Lepore, absolutely devastating, Mark and Sarah. The family is understandably traumatized by the discovery of Christine's remains. They found parts of her body left behind at the scene, along with some of her clothes. Cut to interview with a female family member, Chancla Tia. I mean, big chunks, of her all over the place, just covered up with grass. It's a sight no one should ever have to witness. It's truly horrible. Cut back to the news studio, male anchor. Such a tragic, horrifying incident. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Christine's family during this difficult time. Female anchor, absolutely, Mark. And now a word from our sponsor, commercial break. Bush Hog TDC Tri-Deck Finishing Mower, male voiceover. Introducing Bush Hog TDC Series Tri-Deck Finishing Mower. Designed superior cut quality and ideal for residential and professional use. With 3 models and 12 foot, 15 and 17 feet width, this mower will just be rugged to the last cut. Female voiceover. The TDC series offers dynamic control features that ensure a fine cut over various terrains. It's adjustable with flex and float over uneven ground, leaving you with a finely groomed appearance. Male voiceover. Whether you have a mowing zones or need to tackle expansive areas, the Bush Hog TDC Tri-Deck Finishing Mower is just your go-to solution. Back to the anchor persons, female anchor. Welcome back. Our thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to the family and friends of Christine Chavez during this incredibly difficult time. Male anchor, absolutely, Sarah. The tragedy has raised concerns about the safety protocols, negligence involved in the incident. Chavez's brother-in-law believes that more attention should have been paid while operating satellite-guided machinery. Female anchor. That's right, Alan. It's a reminder that safety should always be top priority, especially when it comes to operating heavy machinery like lawnmowers. I'm going to jump to the end. Absolutely, sir. It's a broader issue that needs to be addressed by our society. See now throw female, and that's all we have tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sarah Anderson, male anchor, and I'm Alan Thompson. Stay safe, and don't forget to stay out of the leaves of grass. End of scene.
What? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tezasomo.
Oh, that was fantastic, Tez.
Yeah, Tez.
You really tore it up.
Listen, if you ever wondered what a master storyteller sounds like, it's that cat, right? He puts in that work, really. And that's not even time, Taco. Man, I love how you throw the scenes back and forth, right? Shout out to Valley. He said the Beer Brook Park in Modesto, right? E and J Gallo Winery. Listen, as a kid, man, growing up in California, I remember those commercials. I love how you always throw in, your culture, right? And how much the gatekeepers really focus on who they're marketing to, right? He mentioned a couple of lawnmower commercials, right? Grover Landscaping Services and the Bush Hog finishing mower. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, all of that's a part of the whole scheme. I appreciate you for that, Mr. Tez. Really, there's so much wrapped into his incredible poetry. Make sure you are plugging in with Mr. Tez. I warned y'all. Let's keep it going. Before we move on to our next poet, I gotta shout out my brother who's on the West Coast real quick. Said he has an announcement, but this cat is a mainstay of our community, the one and only propaganda poet. Oh my goodness, always great to see you. Also, let the folks know what it is.
Sorry, I don't mean to interject. Sorry, I missed the list. I was moving yesterday. But I wanted to announce anyone who, well, first of all, hybrid. Hell yeah, that's going to be amazing. That's the Saturday of Governor's Island, right? Because I am totally there. Yes. Oh my God, I cannot wait. But the day on the Monday after Governor's Island, so that's July 31st, Monday, July 31st. Jane Spoken Word Albie and I are putting together a pretty wicked after poetry party show. So Paul Skiff might be making an appearance as well. Billy Tuggle is going to be there. It's going to be a pretty amazing night. So if you are in the NYC area, it's going to be at a club right around the corner from Nuyo. And just hit me up if you want details. But it's going to be an amazing show, an amazing night of poetry. I think it's going to be like $20 and like a 2-drink minimum or something like that, but well worth what's going to happen. So please, if you are going to be in the area, we'd love to have you. So come on down.
Man, listen, appreciate you, Prop. Make sure you are following through. If you are in the tri-state area, listen, it is going down. These folks are incredible, just human beings, right? If you are in the vicinity, anywhere in the vicinity, trust and believe it is worth the trek to get to the Lower East Side, right? Or Governor's Island, whichever way that you can connect with these incredible poets, make sure you do. Appreciate you, Prop. Make sure you are plugging in with our brother Oso Lobo all the way out on the West Coast, but he's going to be on the East Coast very soon. And he mentioned some very, very heavy hitters too. Oh my goodness. Albie's the beast. Shout out Jane and Albie on bass. For real. All right. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, the Jedi Master. Prop just mentioned him a minute ago. This OG of our community continues to do this at such a high level. right? The only member of our community that was published in the original anthology, the one and only Paul Skiff is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Jedi Master. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Hey, hi, everybody. Great to see you all here again. Great to see all the assembly of extremists who are going to make this inferno night again. Thanks, Elemental and RMT behind the scenes, keeping the electricity up. Let me get this thing on the screen. I'm just going to read part of this, the ending part of this, because it's too long. So it'll be not the greatest continuity. And it's just suggesting a kind of collective destiny. Playing a delicate, insouciant battle song on your rigid certainty, your mad desperation of having accepted spiritual guidance from comedian locked in mood about which there is no truth to be understood, humorous as you may find the dollar bill stuck to a magnet with all sympathy you are due, I'm afraid, perfect simile. Oh, technical glitch. Hold on. Here we go. Humorous as you may find the dollar bill stuck to a magnet with all sympathy you are due, I'm afraid perfect simile formed by gilded urinal and your ambition is not a problem, any part of which I possess. Behind your personal success story festers an anguished backward colony sought for cheap labor, subjugated with trick celebrity, when each instrument of mind's adoring orchestra shines as unanimous note sun, that is the original chaos, bent off window across street blasts, white blindness over eyes until thought splits. This man imitates an accommodation for with a rising curtain clothed in fragile veil of bubbles upon surface of toilet water, beautiful, delicate lump of shit, dark as loam, twirls like a child as emotion released from physical limit of sobriety, mystery brews lays reason naked in emergency room of its coincidence, unable to respond, but here's Dr. Disbelief make a case for pulling the plug. Between this perplexed laughter and gravity's harsh inescapable solution, two directions peel so that even in a mirror you do not obtain your own face. The human face goes blank when caught by speed, so gravestone who sits inside car that spins and throws clouds of pulverized glass with explosive screech stretched across intersection as soothsaying to relinquish grip on steering wheel. Balance is a random law of chance the hand will have to snatch from cataclysmic movement in frozen pose that is long journey to sight. The eyes wear final distance. So the woman paralyzed upon floor of a lobby elevator, watching the door slowly slide shut on her own head, understands the end is arrival of last light at inadequate reply, where plea for repetition from back of the sun fades closed. Proof, luxury, and rot make fragile status. Voluptuous rat lurches over 2nd Street at 2 a.m. Inaugural occupant enters foundation of new condos. Sensing opportunity brought by hunger exists without human reason to make blatant. What fortune lacks is not apparent. The rodent swims a kind of river, inhabiting brick with current sent by impermanence. So often weakness is not seen all at once. To be thrown wide open still, revelatory language of witness knots, fluid in my ratios. This is how I had become like lights of towers viewed through bad air at night, half there, unreal as the past, whose remembrance binds my hands. Empty hands share out each day through purpose of senses that liberate apprehension from anonymity encoded in the obvious hostility with which each object recites its privilege. So unthinged there, knowings travel my vision, related by not being for themselves in excess of the numb instrument description installs with use. So it is I who your blank sanctity decomposes, I who, acting a small persistent kindness, weaving the sensual, you erode with disregard. I, no longer human object, I, who deviate from what underlies your spectating existence, stricture and struggle, fear, sadness and waste. I, who appear horrible, bent and misshapen, whose words fly off body like blood or flame. I, who each time given back to himself by blunt change or subtle vicissitude, learned the passions over a grave on the far side of a last word. I, whose power is that of anyone to stand alone against the fear shoved at those alone in opposition to the romance of your incoherence. Because your identity is not worn on the inside, what you reflect is death. I do not fear who I now am, the one who buries you with his own breath, bearing a quizzical look on my face. Through overripe transformations of birth, I acquiesced. My first terrestrial thought was, they had to be joking. Of all the things the world could have been, but we made it into this.
First terrestrial thought. Like this dude, this is why we used to say, you know what I mean? We are entering the skiff verse. Unmute yourself, give it up for Paul Skiff.
Oh, he's amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Just absolutely great.
I mentioned you might be able to catch
Always.
that live on the Monday after Governor's Island. Just saying.
If you ever get a chance to hear the Jedi Master in person, it's an experience. Especially with the like yo, it's it's something else. It's something else. For real. It's something else. There is no truth to be understood, right? A dollar bill stuck to a magnet? How? Right? Bubbles of toilet water. I know, right? So many of us, right? Beautiful, delicate lump of shit. Like, is that not the news sometimes? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just in the corner of the world that I live in. You know, I don't know. So often weakness is not seen all at once. Come on. Coded in obvious hostility. Come on, man. Like, appreciate you, Jedi Master. Really. What you reflect is dead. Like, come on, man. Like, it's just like he just does this, right? And he even like hit me to some stuff that happened. Like Paul Skip is so next level. Like next level is still learning from Paul Skip. Appreciate you, Jedi Master. Let me shout out a couple of folks before we move on. DG Clearing will not be able to be with us this evening, but sends all his love. So does Raw James. Truly appreciate that, cat, for letting us know. CP Mays will not be in the building, but it is his birthday today, y'all. Make sure you are sending love to CP Mays. Shout out to homie Mays. Always love that cat. Mia Aguilera, always good to see Mia. Make sure you are plugging in with Mia. Listen, I told y'all, as the seasons change, her pictures continue to get better and more involved. Appreciate you, Mia. Clemencia Acevedo is here. Appreciate you for hanging out with us this evening. Chanson, haven't seen that cat in a while. Plug in what number you're on, Chanson. I know that cat's trying to go against Guinness, right? And all of his, if it's haiku. Plug in the number, Chanson. I know I'm pretty sure it's a few thousand by now. All right. Appreciate y'all for plugging in. Coming up next, Professor Platinum is here, y'all. This gentleman continues to come through and share his energy with the room, whether he is spitting or not. The one and only Doug Silver is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental, very much. Great to see and hear you and all the poets, as always. When I saw tonight's prompt, permanent ink, I thought of the game of submitting in the hope of getting published. I've recently sent in a few pieces to Rattle magazine and the ekphrastic challenge they hold monthly. Ekphrastic is a Greek word meaning writing about art. Rattle supplies an image, a painting, a photograph, etc. as a prompt, and the poets take it from there. Here are 2 poems I've submitted to them recently. I'll put the info in the chat after I read and hope that you'll submit to Rattle if you're interested. Here's last month's submission. It's called What She Needs. She doesn't want to be loved. She wants to love. She doesn't long to be missed. She longs to miss. She doesn't crave to be touched. She craves to touch. They say her heart is locked, that it's broken, dead, and frozen. She says her heart's been burned so often, it's in recovery, starting again from scratch. She says her heart is like a child that's seen too much, done too much, been too much. It'll take time to heal, to grow, she says, to trust, maybe someday to open. Be patient, please, she says. Give me this. And here is the poem I submitted for this month's submission. It's entitled Echoing. Yoo-hoo, you yell through the tunnel with the hoo echoing on. You too, I reply with ooh, as I'm thinking of walking through. Underneath the highway, the creek to the bay, like we used to when we were kids. Not with you, of course, but with my brother. The brackish water running slowly now, only ankle deep, murky with rocks and cement, hairy with seaweed and crabgrasses, plastic bags and nylon twine. It used to get so deep, especially at high tide, we would ride our rubber rafts all the way through, pushing off the metal sides, dodging jagged rocks and deep sea creatures, in those dangerous dreams of drowning. And when you fell off and in, crawling with the current and slowly climbing back on, by the end, your knees and ankles ripped red as blood mixed with salty water, dripping down your legs. And I tried to help, saying, the salt will make it heal faster. But instead you start crying, running, your sobs growing fainter the farther you go from me. To our mother, always waiting, waves ending at her feet, in her short-legged beach chair with another thick hardcover book, wearing a plaid one-piece bathing suit and her groovy Catwoman sunglasses. Thanks, everybody. Thanks a lot.
Oh man, I have to thank you for that last image, right? The groovy cat with the sunglasses. Like, come on, y'all. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Doug Silver.
I so enjoy your work, Doug. That's great.
Love it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I absolutely love when Professor Platinum comes through and shares his work because he just always strikes so hard. Really. Like again, it's just like I feel like, you know, when he comes through, like I love when Doug comes through, right? Because when I hear his work again, I can tell that he's been hanging out with us and he's just been like, oh yeah, that's a good, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I love that, right? he said he mentioned the game of submitting. It really is. It really is. It is a chess game, right? You got to know when and where to go and how to maneuver when you get those replies that say, maybe, I don't know, right? I appreciate you also for bringing up the word ekphrastic and its origin, right? Heard that word, but I appreciate you for bringing up that origin. And this is what I love about our community. We submit to different things, right? We are connected in poetry in different ways, right? So he's submitting to magazines, to online things. Like, get your poetry out there in every way possible, right? And then the second poem, I love how textural that poem was, right? Mentioning the stream, the brackish water, right? The dangerous dreams of drowning, right? The blood mixed with the salty water, all those things. They really, really bring you all the way back to the poem in a very real way. Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Truly, truly appreciate you. Make sure you are plugging in with Professor Platinum. All right. Also saw Mary Lee Johnson in the room. Always great to see Mary Lee. For real. Got a chance to meet Mary Lee in the cafe. Incredible person, truly. All right. I don't see the next person in the room. That's okay. They will come back. Coming up next, our resident superhero is here. This poet continues to make room for so many poets in so many ways. They are continuously on the cutting edge of how to share poetry. The one and only Finn Bell is here, who I like to call the daughter of Krypton. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you. Please take it away. One second. We can't hear you yet. We cannot hear you yet. We cannot hear you yet. No. Anybody else? Anybody else? No, no audio just yet. We will get there. We will get there. Finn Bell, listen, we will come back. We will come back. I don't know why that's happening. We will come back. That's not okay. We will get there. All right. So we will move on to where did they go? Are you kidding me? I know they're there. Of course they're there. We will move on to the Chameleon Poetic. This poet you will see very soon. All right. Very soon, in case y'all didn't know. All right. The last Monday of the month, we will transition into a feature spot. Right. It is coming very soon. And this poet you will see in one of those feature spots, the one and only Terry Rose Jertson is here. Unmute yourself, Terry. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
You can find me on Facebook on Terry Rose Jertson, or you can find me on the Chameleon Poetic on Instagram. So I have my Barbie shirt on. That's what I'm trying to get on the picture. There we go. Got the Barbie shirt on because I'm going to read a Barbie poem. Superficial asshole trying to relive my youth, Peter Pan syndrome. I am totally on board with the Barbie movie coming out. And I wonder what made her so popular again, long after we put away our playthings. Are we supposed to be distracted by her boobs? We know it's all about the size of our chest. Mine aches that grown-ups never give that a rest. Putting them in my face every chance they get to distract me from what really is going on. All the murders, shootings, and injustice. Scene: Barbie and Ken are riding around in her pink Corvette, singing and building a home in the lovely dream house where dreams go to die. Because why? Because it's all made of plastic. End scene. That's my piece.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. It's all made of plastic, really? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Terry Rose Johnson.
That was great, Terry. I really like that.
Listen, I came up in a time where my older sister played with Barbie, right? Barbie was the thing. And now seeing all of these toys from our childhood come into real life movies is such a trip out. It really is, right? And then actually seeing how they move around. Listen, I appreciate you, Terry, really. She said she's totally on board with the Barbie movie. I love that, really. Are we supposed to be distracted by our boobs? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they worked on that as much as they worked on the shape of Barbie and the color of Barbie's hair and the textures of Barbie's hair. I don't know. Just never heard as much about Barbie's boobs as much as her hair. Sam. Did they keep putting them in my face to distract me from what's really going on? That's really an interesting point, Terry. Because of course, toys are made for kids and they're trying to distract kids from distracted children make distracted adults. Appreciate you, Terry. Again, make sure you are plugging into the Chameleon Poetic. All right. Coming up next, we are going to fly back around the world to make sure we get to the one and only Finn Bell. Let's make this work, daughter of Krypton. Let's get this right this time. Please unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Please make sure I can hear you. Nope. Still, what is going on? That is not okay. That is not okay. Ron, please, let's see if we can work that out. Please. We will make sure we come back. Indeed, we will make sure we come back to make sure that we hear Finn Bell. All right. So we are not going to go too far, right? Because also in the Bay is our next poet. This poet also just released their Patreon. Make sure you are plugging in with the Dope Poet Society. Continues to come through and rip some amazing poetry. I was just in a room with this poet this weekend. Shout out Raw James, shout out Inspired Words, shout out D. Allen. This poet came through and just dropped some just heaviness. Oh my goodness. I love when this poet comes through. The one and only Bianca is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Bianca, always great to see you. Take it
Always
away.
great to be here. Thank you so much. So like Elemental said, my Patreon is out and debuted. I hope you guys can be a part of another safe space of healing and nurturing. And any other updates on that will be on my IG. So if you haven't followed me, my my IG handle is in my box. I took my pen there, Elemental. Get his prompt. It got me Frankensteining and kintsugiing a lot of old work. So here we go. This is called I Come From. I come from where seed meets soil and water greets them after. I come from ancient rooted desires that forces its way into me like a symbiotic bond only my mother could love. I come from a lack of compassion disguised as tough love. I come from approval-based reinforcement, so now I ask for none. I come from ancestral lines that showed warriors that were silenced by colonizers by taking our women and using their seeds to fertilize our native soil just to kill the plant that rooted after thriving in such harsh conditions. The smell of foreign that reeked on my skin as I tried to bleach the fabric that held my organs together by threads that were sewn on by people who believed we took everything from them when they only fed us crumbs from their leftover lies they served on silver betrayals. I come from generational insecurities that have morphed into false realities because the past couldn't be vivid enough to capture through my own lens, so invalidity haunts me more than certainty does. I come from grit, where sandpaper meets the smooth canvas, rubbing constantly to polish something already pristine. It's reassurance, it's affirmation, it's relentless glory. It's the repetitive nature that whatever dulls my figure awakens my mind, for nothing is ever pointless. Because of where I come from, I have purpose, power, and persistence. I seem to have this intuition that bloodlines are just our ancestors' way of circumnavigating your reality, so you inevitably recreate the world they think they needed instead of creating a world that is necessary. I've never been good at direction, so where I come from isn't where I'm going. The reason why I know my future is because I know my history. And as my pen hits my paper once more, revealing the ink, my voice sings with the intentions of the indigenous. I become an instrument, a heart beating to the rhythm of my words so loud my ancestors hear me calling them, asking for thunder to come down, as if it's necessary to hear a warning drum every time our society fails me. And as I walk past versions of my cadavers in alleyways I once considered as safe havens, I've made it to where I need to be, somewhere. Thank you, poets.
Oh, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Come through and burn it down. Oh, mute yourself. Give it up for Bianca.
Great job, Bianca.
Woo! That was hot, hot, hot.
Yeah.
I love that
Bianca.
poem.
Fire.
Love it.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I used to teach performance poetry in high schools in Brooklyn, and that is one of my prompts, where I come from. All my students had to write on that, where I come from.
My goodness. Listen. You got to shoot on. You ain't coming in like dropping on you. We will get to the queen in a minute. Listen, where I come from. Don't start no, whoa, be those. All right, you start talking about where I come from, folks start getting ready. I'm telling you, they start getting ready. Especially in New York. You start saying, you know, where you from, that borough check. Listen, be careful. Be careful. I come from ancient rooted desires. Woo. Only my mother can love. See what happened? See what happened? You see I mentioned the borough check and it just can't even, they can't help it. You see what I'm saying? Shout out Brooklyn. Shout out to BX. Listen, it's going down. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Silenced by colonizers. Listen, I love when you come through, Bianca, because I can tell how much you've been hanging out with the blacksmiths of your brain, right? And every single time you come through, it's just sharpening more and more and more, right? Said the smell of foreign that reeks on my skin. Damn. Invalidity haunts me more than uncertainty does. What? Walk past versions of my cadavers? Like, come on. So we're time traveling now? Is that what we're doing? We're time traveling in our poetry now? I mean, I get it. We're writing destiny. Like this is what we do. I get it. I appreciate you. Make sure you are plugging in with Bianca and their Patreon. The Dope Poet Society is going down. Appreciate you. All right. Coming up next. Oh my goodness. Where is there? I mean, I know he's in the building. The most eloquent writer I know, all the way across the bond. It is crazy hours. But this poet always helps you to grow new dendrites in your brain, because all of his words help you to learn something brand new, magical, and beautiful. The one and only Lantern Carrier is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Lantern. It's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Great to see you, my brother. I've just put it in the chat and I'll do it again afterwards. Prayer begins when human capacity ends, says my Guruji, a sublime and eloquent truth that my mother knew instinctively. For life's heavy elephants on her shoulders, her adversities had taught her this invaluable devotion to divine providence. She was always praying, beseeching a nameless God she never saw, with a blind faith inspired not by choice, but an ardent fervor for the strength of fortitude, concern, and sacrifice to feed her 7 beautiful roses. She was just 16 when her belly was kicked, Me singing within the glories of heaven, still at school, she was too young to know of the permanent ink and aroma of fragrant lyrics that love would indelibly imprint upon us, a boon for her self-giving life. My love of magical bars came from a prayerful palms of longing, a desperate soul crying in her own wilderness like John the Baptist, not for a coming Messiah, but for food, warmth, clothing, of shelter and a humble education for her children. I became a poet, my sister a journalist, and my daughter is still receiving accolades carved from the lips and scrolls of Goddess Saraswati. My father rose at dawn like clockwork, his soul burning with a spiritual hunger to recite David's Psalms, to sing the songs of Solomon, arias resonating in my core like the symphonies of starlings. I guess they left me a legacy of lipped ink, made permanent by a fervor for oratory, intonation, and flow, later intensified by the guru at whose feet I sat for 41 years. One who flooded my soul with the wine of wisdom, a drunken lover soaked in the rhapsody of inspired harmonies. Now my soul weeps a calligraphy of lyrics that became a bridge on which my sanctum resonates in silence, kissing the breath of each receptive vessel with the sweet sugar of its holiness. Love's grace, I wish to leave my melodies scattered in the cosmos like bird songs, to look down from Jannah in 100 years, not to see churches, temples, and stupas of the Christ, Krishna, and Buddha. I would rather see mercy and compassion in human hearts, imbued with bars of love, like my mother's, emotions burning from the manuscripts I left behind, not to dissect, but to transform souls into the flowers and blossoms they are meant to be. Poets will read at my graveyard tombstone, like Rumi, Hafez, and Kabir, like Mir and Rabia. Their children will chant my narratives to their children and grandchildren, give my love poems to the Paramas like they do Rumi's, even if meant for the higher light. For something is better than nothing, and every little bit helps in inspiring the soul to greater glory, the surrendering of the individual will to the wisdom of the infinite. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Wisdom of the infinite that you continue to add to. Unmute yourself, give it up.
Thank you, gratitude
Carrier,
to
so
all
beautiful.
my poet family.
Awesome.
I don't know how you do it, right? And I know that, you know, non-poets look at us and they wonder how we do it, right? But I hear your work and I'm like, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you make sure like every poem has a Midas touch on it? Like it's ridiculous. Like you just got this luster on every single one of your poems. Like, damn it, man. An aroma of fragrant lyrics. You said, my soul weeps, the calligraphy of lyrics. Flooded my soul with the wine of wisdom. Listen, man. Listen, man. Like you just write melodies beyond us. Really, like you really write on the waves of time. And I appreciate you for sharing it with us, truly. And it's crazy late. It's crazy late where Lantern is. Appreciate you, Lantern, always for coming through. Really. Whew. Man, it's just amazing. Amazing. I told y'all, greatest community in the world. All right. We are going to get to Ron Mark Thompson in just a moment. But we are going to try one more time to see if we can get this superhero active this evening. Please unmute yourself, daughter of Krypton. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me yet?
Oh, there we go. Shout out to RMT. We'll get to that cat in a second. Oh, my goodness. Finally, the daughter of Krypton is able to share her work. It is always great to see you. Again, I said this poet makes so much space for so many poets and so many different platforms. Please let the folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Great to see you too. Thank you so much. And thank you to Ron, whatever magic you did. You can find me on Instagram, Finn_Bell. So this is a short piece. It is more of a half dream sequence than a poem. So please excuse any of the ickiness. I'm still working through it. Today we tread too slowly through this home I have kept only to myself. I will wait for you to understand, but that knowledge has embedded in the unmarked time before both of us planted our feet grounded on this hardwood floor. I am the soul left behind, tending to the rot of the life. I keep tidy notes of every passing and coming in my crystal bright, fragile mind. I am the ghost wearing fugue sublime, paths and circles around my beloved, familiar halls. I cannot look back to know that you still follow me. Tread and pick carefully the places where the slant of sunlight disturbs at forgotten storms. Infinitesimal rage, roused, raised in the film of dust. Link your arms through my own. I crave the companionship despite myself. We are cautioned by the ancient spirits, wind passing through the boarded up walls, that the life we live is solitary. We are arrogant and we claim we thrive in it nevertheless. Deny we were conceived, being seeking union in the approval of other beings. But upon the first words that creep from infantile lips, we are exposed. We are told to be happy with our lot. We are told that young lie we breathe and the air is bottled up and hoarded away, too thick to expel in the non-dreamer's heaving lungs, too thin to make an ideal life, catch and germinate, too exquisite for love to take hold, to set root and make life. I take your firm clay hands in between mine, guide them over the herbs overrunning and spilling over the counter. My laughing voice introduces you to each one by name. You repeat them after me. You trace the ripeness of their vowels from my mouth. I take your firm clay hands in between mine, guide them between the giving places of my lush, still inculcate body. Vining and budding upon walls and floors, my laughing voice introduces you to each idea as it forms, intimate fragrance blooming, cloying. You repeat my existence back to me. Kiss the sounds unformed and pointed, bruise upon my lips. This is where they happily perish. Thank you.
You repeat my existence back to me? God, come on. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Finn Bell.
Woo, Miss Unicorn, woo! Always.
Beautiful, Finn.
Always great, Finn. Always.
Yeah, that last line, you
Love
repeat
it.
this back to me. That was so everything, Finn. Thank you.
Heavyweight blows in the last 10 seconds, for real. I appreciate, first of all, I appreciate the fact that you stayed with it, right? That you didn't give up on the sound issue, right? That we were able to hear you. So I appreciate that. Said I will wait for you to understand, right? I cannot look back to know you still follow me. Sorry, can't. We are exposed, right? Set root and take life. Guide them against my giving places of my lush. You repeat my existence back to me. Like, there's a South African word. It's sawubona, and it means I see you. And that is what I'm reminded of when I see that. You repeat my existence back to me, showing and acknowledging someone and letting them know that you see them. Thank you, Finn, for being such a valued member of our community. All right, listen, before we move forward, I am going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it. You should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
Thank you. I'm feeling okay. And I just realized the T in my last name may stand for Tech instead of Thompson. Who knows, you know? But I have to admit, I had nothing to do with Finn Bells. By the time I was trying to get to her, she already had, you know, disconnected and reconnected. And I guess the rule of third charm. By the third time, it magically worked. Finn, I'm glad you didn't give up. We got to hear you. That was wonderful. I myself had computer issues. It must be the heat and humidity in New York. That's why you saw the live stream kick off like a minute later in the beginning, and then you saw some messages switching back and forth between the host and the co-host. But no worries, Elemental can trust me. I'm a good tech. Nothing suffered. Everyone on the live stream, hello to the YouTubers, Twitters, and Facebook. You didn't miss anything. We got you, you know, from beginning all the way to the end. You'll be fine. This is why Elemental trusts me to help you out here in the background. So thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Ron Mark Thompson. I work on the online open mics here as the tech assistant in the background. I also work in the program team at the New Eureka Poets Cafe and at some of the in-person events in the tech booth there. We just had a meeting earlier today. We are bringing you exciting programming during the rest of the summer. Yes, we will be closing the physical cafe later in the year, but and we will announce in the next few months when exactly this will happen. But until then, we're going to keep giving you as much programming as we can do, both online and in person. So on that note, if you ever get confused, well, where can I see all your programming? Just go to our different, you know, social media handles or websites. You see all the handles here, Instagram and Twitter. Instagram and YouTube, it's at New Eureka Poets Cafe. Facebook and Twitter, it's at New Eureka Poets. I also put our management handles there, La Brua and Nico, as well as our online hosts, Ray Chain and Elemental. If you follow any of them, you will never miss out on any program that is coming up at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. And you can also go to our website, neweureka.org, click on full events calendar, and you will see you know, all the upcoming public programs. You can contribute to us on our website. You can, you know, contact us, get on the mailing list, all this through these amazing events. You may have seen on our social media that, yes, because we are preparing somewhat in advance for the reconstruction at the cafe, we are scaling back a little bit on the in-person programs, which means instead of 2 programs per weekday, we now have 1. On Mondays, we still have the on-site open mic, which is now co-hosted between and alternated between Sol Preem and Felicia Kate. That's 8 p.m. in person every Monday. Wednesdays, it's the Poetry Slam, which J Rose and the B are now dividing hosting duties for that weekly program. That is also at 8 p.m. in person. You can also Zoom in to watch, not to perform, but you can watch. And also we will be continuing every first Wednesday of the month Beatniks and the Women's Orators Wednesday, which is, both of them are curated and hosted by our executive director La Brua. Now I have to give you some good news. First of all, Beatniks is moving to 1 hour earlier each month. Starting next month, Beatniks will start on the first Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you miss it, no worries. It is recorded and, you know, put on our live stream, so you can always watch it thereafter. I will put the links in the chat. And because it is the hip hop 50th anniversary, our next edition of Beatniks, which is happening on August 2nd, Wednesday, August 2nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, will be devoted to hip hop. So La Brua has invited and reached out to several hip hop artists and poets who will be with us on that evening. Other programs coming, obviously on Fridays we still have Chive Poetic, the Poetry Slam, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the Twilight Open Mic right thereafter, hosted by Chauvet. But coming up this month, we have 2 special programs. This weekend at 7 p.m., our board of director member Rome Neal will be coming back to the cafe with his band. He himself is a very very amazing, great jazz vocalist. He also plays a few instruments. He will have his banana pudding band back, and not only are they named after the food, but Rome Neal will also bring complimentary banana pudding. If you pay the ticket for $20, you will get the pudding for free. It's only $20, and it's going to be a fundraiser. Everything from the ticket sales will go towards the next 50 years of the New Eureka Poets Cafe. You may either purchase tickets on our ticket site in advance, or just come to the door 7 p.m. this weekend. And next weekend, you heard Elemen2al say it a few times. You heard Ray Jane also announce it last week. We're going to hear from her after the next performer. But yes, after popular demand, we are finally bringing back the hybrid open mic. We are planning to do minimum two this summer. We're going to get them in before we close to the cafe in the fall. But for now, we're going to do one, which is the same weekend as the Poetry Festival. So if you're on Governor's Island until 6 p.m., take the ferry and the train back to the New Eureka Poets Cafe. We open the doors at 7 p.m., showtime 7:30 p.m. Ray Jane and Elemen2al have already a wonderful plan. It will be amazing. You will love it. It will be our first hybrid open mic where not only the performers are hybrid in person and on stage, but even the co-hosts themselves will be hybrid. So we're looking forward to great things. Yes, Propaganda Poet, please, come. I know Gustav, I know some of you will be zooming in. Stay tuned, very important. I believe next week, and Elemen2al, Rachel, and I will confirm that. I believe next week we're going to take requests for those who want to perform online. For the in-person, all you have to do is when you get there, whether you paid your ticket in advance or at the door, once you get inside that cafe, there will be a sign-up list. For the online, we will do it most likely next Monday during the online open mic, and on Thursday during the online open mics, we will give away spots. So if you want to perform, get your tickets online in advance and then sign up, and we will have you, and we will look forward to all the performances, and followed by karaoke, also backed by popular demand. That will be at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Unfortunately, it will not be Zoomed, so the Zoom will end after hybrids, but if you are at the cafe in person, please come. It's going to be a great day. Ray Jane, obviously will stay with us. Paul Concasso will host. We will hear more from him in the next few weeks. And by the way, if you're ever looking for a graphics designer, our own Elemen2al did both flyers here. So if you need flyers for your own organization, or even for you, like say you're doing a block party or a family reunion, reach out to Elemen2al. He is your man. Talking about block party, if you want to put this date on your calendar already, Saturday, August 26th, we are planning our next annual block party. It will be the 10th annual block party of the New Eureka Poets Cafe. We also went over the plans for this earlier today during the meeting, and we will have so much amazing plan. We will have an open mic stage again. We will have all the hosts, host and co-host. There will be a children's area. We will have a DJ area. We're going to invite vendors. So there will be a lot going on. Stay tuned in the next few weeks. We will give you more details, of how you can help us if you want to volunteer. So anything you can help us with is appreciated. Block party in front of the New Eureka Poets Cafe, East 3rd Street in Manhattan, Saturday, August 26th. Put it in your calendar, and we will give you more details in the next few weeks, rather. And for everything else, any tickets, for online or in-person programs, just go to newregan.org, click on full events calendar, choose the date and time, or scan the QR code. For the 25 who are performing today, you already signed up for artist RSVP. It's the same website, just a different date or time. We're going to hear from Ray Jane in a few minutes, so she can also remind you of how to sign up for Thursdays. So this is, and again, for the in-person programs, if you didn't get a chance to get your tickets online in advance, you can always pay at the door. So we love to have you. Come on over and support the New Eureka Poets Cafe. But on that note, we are still in the online open mic. Happy happening every Monday. Ray Jane just put all social media handles in the chat. I really appreciate it, Ray Jane. We're going to get to you in a minute, but first, let's get to Eddie Foreman, or Ed Poetastic as he is also known. And it's been a while since I had the pleasure of introducing him, but Ed, it's always a pleasure to hear from you. You are just the beacon of sunshine. You know, you give us joy when we are down, you give us hope, you know, you give us, you know, just happiness all over. And see, now you're smiling, Ed. You know, you were all the other incredible performances today, but even just you, it was worth coming today. You know, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence again. Ed, let everyone know, just in case they don't remember you, in case they forgot you from last week, who you are, how we can follow you, and then the next 3 minutes are all yours.
No, apologize. You know you're the twinkle in my eyes, and there's no debate. You are great. If you want to follow me, it's in the chat, so you know where it's at. My name is Ed Potasco, feeling fantastic. Please give me time to enjoy my rhyme thoughtful sublime. I got one poem, so you know it's gonna rhyme. My first chime is called Sympathy of Poetry. Poetry is lively than a sunflower rose, or any explanation or logic goes. The sweet sympathy of pure creativity. So appreciate the effects and the sensitivity. Sharp words fly straight to the heart, rain down through skies of vivid art. Each word is covered in emotions, like fishes dancing in the clear ocean, seated in a bouquet of colorful flowers, blossoming in a magnificent array of power. Writing and reading like dancing and singing, the parade of words is only the beginning. Notebooks teleport us into a literary world, pages jumping off insightful and lifeless spirals, shared by concrete or imaginative minds. Lessons grow in very personal design. The pleasures of consonable, desirable writing, patterns of free verse, limerick, haiku, or rhyming, reinventing tales of new, personal, and old, polishing them to shine like luminous gold. Oh, poetry, you're alluring with your verbal melody, ears full of worldly fireworks to complete harmony. The line still in this ugly yet beautiful universe, flowing words of true verse going straight on course. Please downpour us a radiant sight of weather, shower us till we're redder or feel even better. Thank you so very much.
Hey, we should be thanking you, not you, us. So on that note, I'm going to ask everyone to unmute themselves so they can thank you. Go ahead, everyone. Oh, let me try it again. Everyone, please give a big round of applause for Ed.
Yes, Ed.
Hey.
Love you, man.
Thank you, Ed. Your energy is amazing.
Woo! Thank you.
That is the energy that we always need. See, we needed an extra 10 or 15 seconds on the tech side just to prepare ourselves so we can give you all the flowers that you need. And by the way, Ed also works with several organizations. I know the word is right. He works with, I believe he still does movie night at either Fincapillary or the word is right. So check out Ed. You know, he is involved with so many other organizations. And Ed, it's always a pleasure. I know you run workshops as well. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. I hope you can make it to the hybrid open mic, at least in Zoom, if not in person though. So I hope we have you at least in Zoom. So thank you for this. All right, I'm gonna ask Ray Jane to unmute herself. She has the power to do it herself right now, because Ray Jane, in case some of you forgot, you know, I know it's hot and humid in New York City and across the United States, but Ray Jane is the other side of the week. She runs another online open mic on Thursdays, which is slightly different, you know, than on Mondays. It's not just poetry and there's no theme. But Rachel, I also want you to remind the audience about the hybrid open mic, because maybe they don't believe me that, you know, are we a hybrid open mic and karaoke is coming back? Come on now, guys, you know. So Rachel, unmute yourself and let everyone know, you know, what's going on.
Now, let me unmute. You know,
Yes,
the technology been trying to hate on us all day, but you know what? Good prevails always. I am Ray Jane, as he mentioned, ITSRAYJANE. I am the host of the Thursday night online open mic and the co-host of our upcoming hybrid open mic, right? Which is really excited. We are so stoked to bring this back to you guys. As you know, we started off with Advocate of Words, right? Showing us how to get down. So we will certainly be taking that baton that he left for us and running off into the sunset with you if you like. All right. So definitely make sure y'all come out this Thursday, and particularly next week, because that's when you will have an opportunity, if you'd like to be on the online side, to be a performer, okay, on Monday and then again on Thursday. And in person, please do come out to the New Yo. You want to be on the list, you got to be in the bricks, okay? So show up if you're trying to be on that stage, because we'd love to have you. And I just dropped the reminder on how to sign up for Thursday night. Same rules, 24 hours ahead of time. So just like here, you want to spit at 8 p.m. on Eastern. On Monday, you sign up on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right? Same thing for Thursday. 9 p.m. Eastern is when we're sharing on Thursday. So on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at the what? The newyourekan.org, you're going to sign up and get an artist ticket and then come through, right? We'd love to have you. Music, poetry, comedy on Thursday. And for the hybrid, it's gonna be crazy. Gustav is gonna be there, right? We got Bear in the house, okay? Joski's coming through. It's gonna be crazy. So don't miss out. Come through. Every dollar that you spend, I know things are tight, but it goes to a great cause, and you're sitting in it right now. All right? Have a great time. Y'all are already amazing before you even open your mouth. You are worth it, and you're worthy, and we are blessed to be amongst you. Take it back, Ron. I'll see y'all later.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Amazing. And yeah, thank you for helping out with the chat, all the links, and isn't Rachel an amazing promoter though? I think she should be running the social media and commercials for all the organizations, Thank you so much, Rachel. Not to take away jobs from Elemen2al, because he's been doing a great job with the graphics and all that stuff. And you will see them at Hybrid, by the way. We did already some rehearsal, and amazing things are coming up. So I look forward to that, Rachel. I forgot to mention everyone already may purchase tickets for either hybrid or karaoke. In-person hybrid is going to be $15. But I want you to remember that $15 is not only good for hybrid, it also covers the karaoke after party. So for $15, you literally get 5 hours of entertainment in which you can actually participate as well twice. Once in the hybrid open mic and once in the karaoke, so that's amazing. And then if you cannot be physically in New York City, the Zoom attendance and ticket is only $5. That's if anyone has any financial financial troubles to make it, let us know. We'll see what we can do. But these are the tickets: $15 in person, $5 on the Zoom. And again, once you sign up for Zoom, come to the online open mics next Monday and Thursday, because that's where we will take requests to perform online, because we want you guys, both in person and online. So I'm really looking forward to that, Ray Chain. Thank you to both Elemen2al and Ray Chain for all the planning work, and all the the rehearsals that we're going through. Mari, I'm looking forward to finally meet you in person. I know you've been wanting to come, for the many past months, so we will look forward to having you then. It'll be great, amazing. Thank you so much, Ray Chain. Appreciate it. All right. On that note, let us go to our next performer. And also reminder, that same weekend, Saturday 29th and 30th of July, is also the annual New York City Poetry Festival. And this is where I actually met Baba and Goma in person last year. We went back on the ferry. I know he performed there as well. Baba, I hope you're going to be back at the New York City Poetry Festival. And may I be so daring to say, when you do, leave the island, I hope you're going to make it to the Nuyorican Poets Cafe so you can join us in person with Ray Chain and Elemen2al at the Hybrid Open Mic. I don't want to push you, but I'm just saying. Baba, let everyone know who you are, where we may follow you, and then the next 3 minutes are all yours. Welcome back.
Yeah, can you hear me good?
Yep, we're good on the audio side.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom, freedom over me will. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. And I'd fight for the right to be free. Where I come from back of the bus and colored water fountains. I come from segregated toilets and no niggas or dogs allowed. I come from segregated and unequal schools with hand-me-down books. I come from sit up in the balcony. I come from you can't buy a house in this neighborhood. I come from you can't eat at this lunch counter. I come from go around the back to get your food. I come from picket lines, bus boycotts, and fire hoses. I come from freedom rides, freedom songs, and jail cells. I come from we've been buked and we've been scorned. I come from we shall overcome. I come from black fist raised high, little Bobby Hutton, Fred Hampton, and George Jackson. I come from street fighting and rebellion, San Quentin and Attica, Black Panthers, Young Lords, and free breakfast programs. I come from runaway slaves. I come from Amiri Baraka, Simba Wachonga, and Watu Wazuri. I come from poor libations on ancestors' graves. I come from the struggle to be free, to be free. So I got another poem. Tomorrow is my birthday. Yeah, we all get one once a year. So I'm gonna do this poem from my book. The first poem was from the book I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance, and so is this one. This one is called Funny Thing Is. I never thought much about growing old. Didn't realize that I was until in a group discussion with young poets, I mentioned that I went to high school and college in the Jim Crow South before integration. We actually had teachers that cared. We didn't wear jeans to school. It just wasn't allowed. We never thought that it was uncool. In fact, we birthed the cool. Male teachers wore suits and ties. Women teachers wore skirts and dresses. You could tell the teachers from the students, and people dressed up when they went to church. In fact, church was like a fashion show. Everyone wore their best. I never argued with Dad about whether or not I could use the car. We didn't have a car. In fact, I remember before Rosa Parks, we rode in the back of the bus. We debated much more serious issues like integrating schools and the fact that I never really wanted to go to school with white people. It wasn't that I disliked them. It's just that all of my friends were Black and that they were foreign to me. None lived in my neighborhood. Going in their neighborhood could get your ass kicked and vice versa. Besides, my high school marching band was the best in the state. We didn't play Sousa. We rocked the hits like Hit the Road, Jack, and danced the wobble and the jerk. I grew up on Saturday night doo-wop and Sunday morning gospel. I learned harmony underneath the streetlights. We sang songs like In the Still of the Night. After graduation, we didn't try to dodge the draft. It would have been an embarrassment to the family. Besides, my mom worked as a secretary for the government. It was one of the better jobs for colored people, although the water fountains and restrooms were still segregated. I walked picket lines in the 60s. My dad was a plaintiff in the Brown versus Board of Education suit. He got fired from his job for it. We integrated theaters, stores, lunch counters, and churches too. Some white kids joined, but they were mostly into peace and love. We grew into Black power. Stokely Carmichael became Kwame Ture. Leroy Jones became Imamu Amiri Baraka. I became Ngoma. I was an infantryman in Vietnam long before hip hop. We wore afros and Converse before Adidas shell tops. I told you, me and Miles, we birthed the cool. After Nam Heroin was king, Panthers and Scene was on the night, COINTELPRO. Fred Hampton and Bobby Hutton lay in their graves, soldiers coming home in body bags. Funny thing is, I never thought I'd live long enough to grow old.
Oh man, but listen, let me tell you how thankful we are that you did get to this point. Unmute yourself, give it up for Ngoma.
Snap.
Listening to you and Ngoma is like listening to gospel.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, that's
That was amazing, that last line. And by the way, happy birthday in advance. And if anyone wants to give him something for his birthday, buy his book. He didn't come here to tap dance, but he certainly did here to spit some amazing songs and poetry. And go, and you can buy this on Amazon or maybe in person when you see him at the Poetry Festival or at the New York Poets Cafe. No pressure again, Barbara, no pressure.
Right.
Buy his book.
Happy solar return. Have an amazing birthday.
For real. Listen, if you ever get a chance to be in the building when Baba gets down, you will feel that energy right there. Truly, truly appreciate you. As the community has said, happy solar return. I truly hope you have something great on your day. Oh, freedom! Fight for the right to be free. Something about those types of poems, when they're done in a way that speaks so true. He said, I come from sit up in the balcony. You can't eat at this lunch counter, right? I come from freedom rides, freedom songs, and jail cells. Come from Black Panthers and free lunch programs. If you don't know about it, learn about it. We birthed the cool. Come on. and we birthed the cool, right? He mentioned a couple of folks, right? So I implore you all to go back when he said Leroy Jones became, Amiri Baraka. He said, I became Ngoma. Right. So who was Ngoma before Ngoma was Ngoma? Let's find out. Thank you, Baba, for coming through and just sharing such incredible work with us. All the depth, all the time and energy that you put into your work is totally and truly felt every single time. Real quick, before we move on, unmute yourself. Give it up for Ron Mark Thompson.
Hey, Ron.
Good
job.
So much. Our RMT. Yeah, you know me.
Thank you, guys. And as I always say, this is teamwork. I work with the most amazing online hosts. I work with a great team at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. We have great in-person hosts. It is just a pleasure working with everyone. Thank you, Ray Chain. Thank you, Elemental. Thank you, everyone else at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. Love you guys.
Literally can't spell team without T, M, and R. Just think about
it. Come on, Prop.
Wow.
Listen, spoken like a true educator right there. Damn it, Prop. Listen, listen, I know I'm biased, right? But I really, really do have the dopest team in the world. Straight up. Straight up. And again, like Ron was mentioning, right? We did meet this weekend and we are planning, to have a really, really great experience for hybrid. So if you are able, make sure you come through. It is going to be an incredible evening. All right, let's keep it going. This next poet, I love when this poet comes through because she always comes through with the sting on it, right? The one and only Miss Kawana James is here, y'all, aka Miss Attitude is about to bring y'all some seriousness. If you have not experienced Miss Attitude yet, you are in for it this evening. Please let the folks know where they can connect with you. It is always great to see you. Listen, where you been? It's been too damn long.
I know, and I'm glad to be back. It's been more than a minute. I've been living, I've been traveling, I've been doing me, but I'm so glad to be back. My name is Kawana James, for you who don't know, also known as Miss Attitude. And I am a totally adult spoken word poet and storyteller. And I say that because there are so many different types of poets. And that's why I love to be a part of this event that you have every Monday. And I'm going to start coming more often. And my poem is about a universal truth. And it's called P-Valley. Fat women, don't lose your fat. There are a lot of men who love their women just like that. You skinny ladies, they call you skinny bones. Well, love your skinny bones. There are so many who love their women skinny. What's all the fuss about eating your fill? Now you want a BBL, a tummy tuck, and with your bad luck, you won't lose anything permanently except your mind. What's the skinny on you skinny women? There are men who can't wait to jump on your bones, pick you up, sit you right on the dome of their thrones. Slowly let that sink down into your mind. It's a drug and there's no rehab for it. They can't help it. Remember, men are slick, will slide into your DMs, praise you from in the beginning to amen. The big girls and the small girls, fat girls, skinny girls, we're all sexy and delectable, can cause so much trouble. That's all of us. We're women made in heaven. Well, some of us from hell. But it don't change that men love women of all shapes, colors, and sizes, weaves, lashes, and other disguises. You don't need all that. Men will love you up, and they don't care about your weave hair or if you have no hair, as long as you have what all men want. And surprise, ladies, you do. Peace, Miss Attitude.
Listen, I told y'all she had that sting on her. I warned y'all before she started. Unmute yourself, give it up for Miss Attitude.
Yeah, you definitely need to be here more often.
I
You don't see enough of you by any means.
Needed that.
That's exactly what we needed.
That attitude.
Yes, that's right. You know,
Gonna come through with all that sting, right? It reminds me of, I'm not trying to, they ain't giving me no money, but there's a movie out right now, with an adventurer who's been doing it for a long time. You know what I mean? He's got another movie, I think this is like number 17, but the sound of his whip when he cracks it, that's what this attitude sounds like. Just that particular movie and that particular whip sound, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, for real. She mentioned she was a totally adult poet. I love that. I love that. That just goes to tell you, right? It's going to be some grown folks language in here, right? Right? I didn't come here to play. I came here to give you this work, right? She said, fat women, don't lose your fat. Like, listen, we're all sexy and delectable. I appreciate you for saying that. Then she said, well, some of us are from hell. That's just not okay. That's not okay, Miss Attitude. That's not okay. Oh my goodness, that's just not okay. I feel bad agreeing with you. But yeah. But yeah. Appreciate you, Miss Attitude. Make sure you find your way back to Monday night as often as possible. Real quick, couple of folks I saw in here. Denisha was in here. Appreciate you for coming through. Poetic Desire is here. Appreciate you always for coming through, hanging out, sharing your energy with us. I see Principe is in the building too. Appreciate that, cat. Really. Listen, bug bit him too. All right. Coming up next, this cat I continue to say is cool as the other side of the pillar, whether it's in real life or on the Zoom. The one and only Complicated Passions is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, man. Shout out to Graybeards. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. You can find me here on Mondays when I can sneak in, and I'm glad I made it today to hear Ngoma. That was dope. I enjoyed that. That was I needed that talk today. Right now, with all that's going on, everybody be safe out there. The end game is about to happen. If you're not watching, pay attention. Check it out. Miranda. I know him and sometimes her. It reads, stop them with bullets. That part is never read. In the small print, it says, the black ones. It seems I must maintain my strength when you are the fear the truth tells me. My death is not the answer to your freedom. I got questions. Why have you canceled my rights to life? Has America gotten better wanting to be? Just my thoughts. I can't be free when you're the only ones living it, shedding skin just to become the same you. Yes, I have questions. Has my life become a number, or has it always been placed in a system I was never meant to be? The name slave, Does it hold future intentions? Can you tell me where are the flowers? I don't know the true numbers. So many ships filled with black gold, many destinations. This is not my home. I am not free. Who gave them permission to play God? Was it their religion? Was it something that gave them rights in a book they didn't write to rule over my life? What more do you want from me? You see, freedom, like justice, it's just an illusion. You see it, but can't touch it. Now, this virus is like a board game, a bunch of checkers wanting to be chess, thinking I can be what I want to be, adding so many conditions. No rules, new rules, just a room full of fools. There's no me, no you, just SCOTUS calling the shots, being told what to do by the invisible. Think about it. Who's ruling who? The dead ones told you they don't care about us. One and the same in this game. Tell me all the tales you want and I'll show you this illusion titled, You Got It Made. I am Darkman Blues. Thank you.
And you just lay that shit so cool with it. Damn it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Complicated Passion.
Really important. Very good.
I really love this A Bunch of Checkers wanting to be chess line because I
Love
always
that.
say,
Come on, Love Infinite.
always am saying, people are always
Come
like,
on.
oh, it's not checkers, it's chess. And I'm like, actually, it's chess. And you keep trying to play checkers.
Indeed.
You know what it is, right? Right? This ain't checkers, it's chess, right? You steadily looking for the king me, and the king is still on the move, right? Castle king side, like catch up. Like, listen, I rarely hear that from you, Dark Man, but I appreciate you, right? You said in the beginning, you said Miranda, right? It says stop them with bullets. Damn it! Hold on, hold on now, hold on. You getting too heavy, right? I got questions. I damn sure do too. Has it always been placed in a system that I don't need to be? So many ships filled with black gold. Who gave you permission to play God? Appreciate you, man. For real. Again, that's something I very rarely hear from Complicated, but heavy as always. Appreciate you, man. Make sure you are plugging in with Complicated. If you have a manuscript coming out, that cat can help you. So far in my world, for as long as I've been on this planet, he is the one and only cat that I know who had black pages in his book. And damn it, I need it. All right. Appreciate you. All right. Coming up next, saw this gentleman get into the room. This gentleman, love that he's sitting in front of his instrument, with his instrument, sitting in front of his instrument. Continues to come through, has been doing it and doing it well, continues to show us how to do it better. The one and only CC Arshagra is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. CC, always great to see you and hear your work, man. Take it away.
Okay, thank you. And it's really good to see Marty here. I haven't seen her in too long. It's been too long. Yeah, I just managed to bop in. I don't know how near we are at the end. Last week I had a new piece there, and I kicked it, and I used my elbows and my thumbs and my forehead to play it out. But I did it anyway because I wanted to let you know that if it's new and you're new and you don't even know where it's going yet, but you could put it out there, then please do. The opening chapter or section of this book, the open microphone, is called "Scared Sacred." And the opening lines in the book, in the first poem, is graphic as the wind through mouth passages. The invisible wit speaks and bounces off walls, falling down, down, and down through what appears to be no floor. Then it rises up and out through an expanding sky ceiling of raw opinions, listening as if recalling echoes of lost thoughts and all their lost meanings. Clear or not, the words are. And then it goes on. So I'm going to play a song instead. That's my book. That took forever to write. So this is a lot of ebony and not much ivory on this one here. So it's new for my fingers to go here. Let's see if I can pull this off. I did it. There it is, there it is, there it is. I'm gonna go again, just like last week. I did this once before, and then once again, and I haven't played it in 3 days, but it's called the Navigate Indivisible Love. In the before, through it all, and in the after. I, just to navigate love. Not the kind that is divisible. Oh no. Just the indivisible kind. Just the indivisible kind. Now here comes the awareness. Where my heart and lungs are home. Yes, my peace of mind resides here, right where my yes, my peace of mind resides here. I know you love me. I'm gonna keep going. Right where fear itself is trying to break in. It's all about the words. Sure all stories bleed with endings, but the question lives, who's the author now? Who is the author now? Who is the author now? You could say your thoughts are free here, but that don't alone make it so. If you believe in only one thing, and that one thing is that you don't have a choice, that you don't have a choice. Did you say you don't have a choice? And if so, you're someone who was played here. That goes with the checker and chess line. Or you're or a player with an enslaved soul of every other, at the cost 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 of every other. While some say that time is of the essence, some will say that time's a lying thief. But soul is not a clock controlling you. Do not fear death, and fear itself can't own you. Do not fear death, and fear itself can't own you. Do not fear death, and fear itself can't own you. As long as you have choices, questions, as long as you have choices, you have questions. And every dream you dream Here is a dream here to free you. Every dream you dream, here is a dream here to free you. Every dream you dream, here is a dream to free you. Every dream you dream, here is a dream to free you. In the before, through it all, and in the after. I, just to navigate love. Not the kind that is divisible. Oh no, just the indivisible kind. Just the indivisible kind. Just the indivisible kind. Take 3.
Look, man, like you're just bringing it all the way back on some shit. Unmute yourself, give it up for CC Archandra.
Nice work, CC. Great to hear you.
Play done, CC.
I can squeak
Good
in
to hear
before-
you, CC.
Yes.
Thank you, all the love. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't know why you don't have your own headlining show somewhere in New York City. I mean, come on.
Wow.
now.
I'm working on it. A friend was visiting, and we're going to work on one of the songs tomorrow, whether she can make it. She plays piano all over New York, and she's going to help me write the music, and we're going to make a little recording. I'm going to send it to Mark and try and get down to New York on the 29th and have Mark press play and give it a shot there. They got the double venue going on, and I plan on being down there. So no hand grenades, and I'll be there.
Listen, y'all. CC's one of those artists that, you know, I was in a space with him where he said, "Oh, I'm not really sure. You know, I kind of write lyrics. I kind of play this thing. And you know what I mean?" He's like, "Oh," just like when you heard him just now, he's like, "Oh, no, there it goes. It's that one, right?" When you come across true creative beings, right, you can't help but get that energy out. And so despite if he's on the piano or with a pen in his hand or working with other creative beings, it's gonna come out in some way. As he mentioned in his book, From the Beginning, right? Where he rises up and out, recalling echoes of lost thoughts and all their lost meanings. Like, come on. Like, come on, man. Like, like, come on, man. You know, when you're navigating invisible love, man, you find yourself in all kinds of places, right? A player with an enslaved soul. I mean, come on, man. Listen, and then, you know, the fact that you add your piano playing, right, to your lyricism. Trust me, it makes an entire whole world of difference, CC. Appreciate you. Keep working, man, and keep bringing it to us. Truly appreciate you. All of it. All right, let's keep it going, y'all. We are almost nearing the end of the evening. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, we got a chance to hear one half of this incredible dynamic duo, and now we are about to hear the other half. Coming up next, this queen I had a chance to meet in person. And trust me when I tell you their energy is absolutely real. The one and only Oshun Oyen is here. The other half to the great Baba Ngoma. I'm telling you, you about to get this business. You about to get this work. Please unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you, Queen. Please take it away.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay. And actually, I'm not the other half. And Goma's a hole, I'm a hole, and we're two holes orbiting around each other. Anyway,
corrected. Thank
there
you.
was a theme tonight, and when I found out what the theme was, I thought this poem I'm about to do fits perfectly. Abiodun Oyewole, Last Poets, gave us all an assignment a couple of months ago. And he said, "Yeah, I want you to write a poem." And the poem is called I Am the Last Poet. So here's that poem. I am the last poet from a group of last poets. Join me intentionally in eternity. Our mission came directly from the ancestral world. Our blood makes us all family. That song in our blood is our anthem that we were born singing. The drums beat the pulse of our hearts and empower our eternal connection, invoking the sun in our souls. We bow to the ancient one's command. We are here to open your eyes, all three of them. The last poets speak in many tongues. We speak in the tongue of justice. We speak in the tongue of liberation. We speak in the tongue of social change. We speak in the tongue of our ancestors' wisdom. We speak our African essence in every dialect, in every poem. We speak in food for the soul. We speak in eulogy. We agreed not to let the sacrifice of those who came to save their people go unrecognized. The word is our mission. Delivering the sacred messages through the word is our destiny. Our words will make you listen. I am the last poet from a group of last poets. Join us intentionally in eternity. Now, this second poem I wrote for Ngoma like 5 or 6 years ago. Tantra Zawadi gave a tribute to him at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. And she asked all of us to write something for Ngoma. So I wrote this poem. I was absolutely blown away when he asked me if he could use my poem as a forward for his book. I didn't come here to tap dance. So my poem is in the forward of his book. And tomorrow is his birthday. And he himself is tonight's theme. He's what a poet is supposed to be, what a poet's supposed to sound like. So this poem I wrote for Ngoma. He is a griot, reincarnated here in the perfect time and place because you need to hear him. His ancestral ears remember the contigani, the ngoni, African string instruments. Unable to find them, he took a new wife, the violin. Years passed before he was able to make her sing in the old ways, in a new voice. But he did, married her, worked with her, mastered her. The realm of the griots heard their favored son, bestowed their blessings, gave him a pen and papyrus, and released the word from his tongue. Full of afoche and fire, it burned down illusions, lies, and trickery. His words awakened thought, consciousness, and spiritual thirst. He exposed the chicanery of those who had stolen your power, your resources, your mind, and your soul. He gave it back to you if you are willing to take possession of it. In the world of spirit and shadow, the ancestors nodded affirmation in recognition of his genius. Past generations spoke their messages through his lips, spoken history, spoken prophecy, spoken the now. They gave him more instruments, woke up the improvisation of the magical spirit in his psyche and fingers, called him Ngoma, meaning music, meaning drum, meaning spiritual possession when dancing to that drum. Set him on the path they scripted long before his birth. His breath cried out for the vast ancient task of creation, and the Yadaki appeared, resonant in his possession. Each encounter resounding the world into being, opening up secret spiritual centers in his being and his listeners' lives. The hallowed one, silent and omnipresent and intent, covered him in ashe on his journey. Ogun wrapped him in palm fronds. Alegba opened the path back to Africa. Obatala pushed patience in practice, paving longer roads of creativity. Ifa started his life over again by their authority and the mission of his destiny. He says what you don't want to hear. He tells you what you need to know, reminds you of where you come from and where the truth says you need to go. In a cloud of music and a lightning strike voice to carve deep into your once sleeping spirit, because that's what soul does, because that's what soul is. Baba, Ngoma, Otiemi Ifatumishe. That is what soul sounds like. Ashe.
Ashe, indeed. Oh my goodness. Did y'all get that? Unmute yourself. Give it up for a shooter. Yay!
Beautiful job.
I'm in the
Thank
dark,
you.
power blue in the house. I missed all my comments. That was beautiful, though. I came back. Thank you. Big love.
Thank you.
Like, the folks who know me know that I am horrible. I mean, horrible at writing love poems. But that is something that I'm going to rewind, come down, select the rewind. That's how you show love to a person who has influenced your life, right? As planets orbiting each other, invoking the sun in our souls, like you have to know, right? The last poet's poem, I truly appreciate how deep you dug in there, right? We speak in the tongue of social change. We speak in food for the soul. The word is our mission, right? Our words will make you listen, right? We are here to open your eyes, all three of them, indeed. Indeed. And thank you. Like you kind of answered a question that I mentioned earlier, right? When he was talking about the brothers who had changed their names, and you mentioned, Ngoma, meaning music, meaning drums, right? Resident in his possession. Like, thank you for that, for reminding us that he is a lightning strike in his voice, and to know that he has such a beautiful planet orbiting his, it does my heart good. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, we have reached our final 6 poets of the evening, so let's get to it. Coming up next, we have a new voice in the building. This poet has signed up before, but I believe this is our first time getting a chance to actually hear them. Please unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can find you. First of all, before we get into that, please let me know how to pronounce your name correctly so I don't tear it up.
It's a new BU.
New BU. First of all, thank you for coming to hang out with us. Welcome to the greatest community in the world. Let the folks know where they can find you. You see how things have been going on this evening. I know it gets kind of rowdy, but you are in the right place. Again, let the folks know where they can find you. Welcome. It's great to see you. Please take it away.
You can find me on Instagram at NEU_BEYOU. I'm gonna ask that you close your eyes while I take you on a ride, play with your mind, not in a deceptive kind of way, it's no secret. Where every word I speak penetrates truth so deep, each breath we breathe is release of its existence. Speak. My heart sits at the window of your footsteps, waiting for the sound of his trumpet. Gazing at the stars in existence, excitement sets in the closer you are to becoming, realer than reality. Safety is an understatement to what you should really mean to me if I could just rest. In the plan of your tone with understanding you have it all under control, I wonder how much longer will it take for me to trust and believe you fully I'm free. But in you, I can be who you created me to be, but who is she? Life with you means death to me, yet on earth, I'm reminded I'm still here. How dead can I be when everything around and inside still breathe? In my life, Be lifted high enough for me to live sinfully sinless in a world full of your absence, yet you're still seen. Drifting on the boat, you so comfortably laying side by side with the face of life. I'm still traumatized, wanting to breathe. Every inhale I exhale, still wondering why everything that was had to be. But your love is simple. Mind if I sit with no words? Prayer has become a chore for me. I need thee, oh, need thee. Every hour I need thee. Bless me now, my Savior. I am thirsty, thirsty for you to see what I believe. That you are the triune God, Trinity of truth. You lived in love, such grace in your existence. You died in love for our sin to be forgiven. You rose again to show in you that I can make it. You gave us Christ in flesh to show it doesn't have to win. How selfish can I be? We overcame by your blood and the word of our testimony. In it all, I'm still tempted. My story incomplete as I walk through with your perfection holding on to me. Jesus, help me not to let go. Back to what once tried and almost did kill me. I felt more free before knowing you knew me. Learning to be perfectly imperfected with the truth of who you've made me to be, free. Wrapped up in your love's captivity. I'm free. She's free. No more chains holding me. My soul is resting. It's such a blessing. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. I'm free. And that's that piece.
Yeah, when you sing that praise like that, you definitely are free. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Newbie. You.
Nice work,
Thank
newbie.
you, gorgeous.
Beautiful,
The soul needed that so much. Thank you.
Beautiful.
There's something about the name. I'm not gonna get to that. However, when you when you get into that depth of feeling, right? The emotion that you have to give to a poem like that, it does penetrate so deep that you can't help but feel it, right? Sits at the window of your footsteps. Yeah. and the beauty of life sometimes, in the situations that we deal with, sometimes they are realer than reality. But that's a double-edged sword, or two sides of the same coin sometimes. Prayer has become a chore for me. Sometimes it is, because you get tired of praying for the same thing. But it's necessary, right? Wrapped up in your love's captivity. Let me tell you. When you start connecting the things that you do and the things that you believe in, they become more so than real. And that's why the sound of your songs come out that way. Listen, welcome to the greatest community in the world. Make sure you are plugging your information in the chat so folks can connect with you and let you know, hey, it's Sunday. You need to sign up for Monday because your ass just fucked up and you need to be here every Monday with that kind of work. All right. Make sure you come through, pull up, plug in on a regular basis. We truly appreciate you. Really. That's how you show up and show out. All right. Coming up next, our brother from the West Coast. Shout out LA in the building. Last time I saw this cat, he had the fro popping and now it's gone. Right? But hey, when you cut your hair, you sever links to the past and you lighten up yourself in brand new ways. The one and only Abraham Kamani is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, bro. It's always great to see you. Take it away.
Here, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Better to see you.
It's good to see all of you guys as well, man. I've been enjoying the poems that I've heard thus far. And you guys can find me on Instagram at The Righteous Poet. That's spelled WRITEOUS. And I'm going to share two with you guys tonight. This first one is called Rest in Peace of Mind. The strings are unattached, but ties are not severed. What we built remains intact, though we are not together as what once was one flesh. Now we are split apart. Yet I would love you to death from the bottom of my heart. For the offspring I begot, you gifted fourfold with birth, a legacy not blot out the face of this earth. Though our union passed away, our seeds are not left behind. We are here for them today, so I rest in peace of mind. That's the first one. And the second one is called Hearts of Soldiers. Our willingness is more than, if not equally important, as our ability to fight. Ability is a matter of physicality. Willingness, on the other hand, is a matter of spirituality. For our spirits are the driving force, boldly moving our bodies into the fields for a standoff face to face with deadly brute opponents, extremists taking excessive measures to instill fear and hopelessness in us who have hearts of soldiers, putting our lives and freedoms on the line, thrown into the lion's den, casted into the fiery furnace, led like sheep into the slaughterhouse to be eaten, burned, maimed alive, for defending our human right to speak and act on what we believe will make the world a better place for us to live in today and tomorrow. Even if our adversaries beat the hell out of us, shoot us down like dogs, lock us up in steel cages, neither the amount of bodies that have broken, confined in prison cells, nor the amount of blood they have spilled will make them victorious, so long as we have not allowed our enemies to break our will to continue carrying on in each battle for peace, justice, and life. They are on the losing side of this war between good and evil. Poem.
Damn right they are. Damn right they're on the losing side. Mute yourself. Give it up for Abraham. Come on in.
Yeah, Abraham.
Abraham.
Abraham. Yes,
Look, and if I'm not mistaken, Abraham, correct me if I'm wrong, it looked like you were writing some of that as we were in the mix, right? One second. Unmute yourself real quick. It looked like as we were going through, like I saw you with the pen and you were just like, off in your own zone. Is that brand new?
Well, no, I finished that one today, but I was working on a newer piece that I'll share on Thursday.
Listen. Tell me why it's important to, or why it was important to pen that particular piece, right? Rest in peace of mind.
But that was a personal piece. I've been divorced now for 6 months, and I've been going through the different motions, and just understanding now that we have kids together, and fortunately, they still have 2 living parents who they could talk to at any time, and that they're not really losing anything, even though they're no longer in a 2-parent household, they still have 2 parents. And as long as I am involved in some way, shape, or form in their lives, and as long as we're on good terms, there's always going to be that connection between us. That tie is always going to be there because of those kids. So it's important for me to maintain a good co-parenting relationship with her, even though distance has separated us and separated me from the kids.
Facts on facts on facts. Thank you, Abraham. Listen, shout out to the dads that make it work, right? Relationships don't always work, right? But parenting doesn't have a choice. All right. The babies need you regardless. So hang in there, right? Hang in there for them. Appreciate you. Really. It's a long road, man. Really. I'm just getting back to my babies after some craziness, man, but stay with it. All right. They need you. They need to know that you love them. So make sure you make it a point to remind them of it every chance you get. Appreciate you, man. For real. And listen, that's the work, right? All of these, fluffy themes that we write about, that's the work, man. That's the work that you got to put in. Those are the poems that need to be written. So appreciate you, Abraham, for writing it and for sharing it with us. All right. Coming up next. Oh, I get to yell at this poet. This poet right here, right, came through and just like, brought all the heat, brought all of it. Just came and just week after week, just bringing it. And then they just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go and live some life and shit, right? Like, I totally get it. But damn it, don't you know this is Monday night? We look forward to hearing you every single Monday. The one and only Marty is here, back in the building after a short stint away. Always great to see you, Marty. Looking forward to hearing what you had to share with us. Please take it away.
Thank you. Every now and then we go through these, I don't know, sometimes you just feel like you need to take a break and just re-energize, recharge. And I guess I just had to do that, so that's what I did, and I'm back, I wrote this, I was finishing it up while I was listening to everybody. But this theme really, really stuck. It really caught me, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. I was birthed in an altered dimension, constructed by the hands of deferred dreamers, souls bludgeoned by burdens until they turned into concrete slabs and bricks that were used to construct cities of catacombs with exits that only put you right back at the beginning of a path of footprints that led to self-destruction. Can you imagine being buried alive for over 30 years? I was forced to draw the frames of 1 million windows on miles of stone walls, using blood from the wounds of my wounds that had been standing one on top of the other, fighting to get some fresh air in, because this toxic environment caused parts of my soul to slough off and evaporate into its stale atmosphere, which mocked me with precipitation that consisted of my innocence dispersed into raindrops, which would form 12 feet deep lakes that would taunt me with the reflections of what was lost, taken by force, and I had no choice but to swim across and continue on my path to the surface. It took me years to slither above the layer of sediment made from decaying past forms of me that I shed in order to lighten my load while I struggled. To ascend mountains of spines, the remnants of skeletons in the closet, navigating across fractures caused by the weight of the world on weak shoulders, demineralized by society's leaching tendencies, which erode souls and strip the nutrients needed to produce creativity, which in turn depletes the energy necessary for survival. Now I sit here free, dictating this manifesto, unafraid to call out the wolves in human skin. The life force behind the revolution is us. We emerge from the swamps, we emerge from the sewer, we emerge from the slums of nightmares, holding hands, tattooing your mind with diamonds from the abyss every chance we can get, because this is the movement of the rebels. This is the movement of the rebels. Poem.
Yo, anytime you can throw in your name into a poem, that's just bananas. Unmute yourself, give it up for Marty.
Come on. Yeah. Fire.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to read that book. I'm waiting to read the book. I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
Thank you.
I'm not the only one yelling at you. See, listen, your community has missed you. We truly enjoy your energy and the work that you put in, right? Listen, said constructed by the hands of deferred dreams. Like, come on, like, really? Are we gonna do that? Right? Put you on a path of footprints that leads to self-destruction. I mean, that sounds like welfare hospitals in poor neighborhoods, right? Put you back on the path to self-destruction where you came from. Remnants of skeletons in closets, right? Dictating this manifesto, like climb out of these walls of human skin, right? Tattooing your minds diamonds from the abyss. Like, come on, really? Like that's how you gonna do us, right? Right? Appreciate you, Marty. Glad that you are back in the building. Glad that you are back in the business of blowing brains out with poetry. One of the dopest, a mainstay of our community. Make sure you are plugging in with Diamonds in the Abyss. Final three poets, folks. Coming up next, this incredible poet comes through with the ASL last week, I believe week before. They were having a whole conversation with another member of our community. And then they have the nerve to be a dope ass poet. Like, come on. The one and only Undetermined Cause is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to see you all. Okay, I know we're tired. Ready? Let's go. I'm having a moment. In the past, it was written on my face. Smile lines, crow's feet, a blank space. How quickly I was fooled, bending in retreat, victim of games, gullible, answering to your self-seeking deceit. But now I see you with that chisel-tip Sharpie, permanent ink. I guess you thought it would make me weak, flinch, and blink. I have to laugh and assume you aren't ready to recognize that I'm not quickly manipulated, clueless, no simple reprise. So go ahead, motherfucker. Check the box as complete. I will go along, put our history on negligent repeat. Maybe there was a time when it all mattered. With so much loss, tainted, everything shattered. But I'm not who I was, and yet here you come. No longer submissive and under your thumb. Go ahead and say some shit and let's see. Been to school now, worked for this degree. So pack your orange jumpsuit and walk through the gate. What has it been, 13, 14 years later, a simple mistake? Claim it as you wish, single mom and a long goddamn list. Don't come out here with expectations and a fanatical wish. I held this shit down working 3 jobs completely alone, barely hanging on and not even casting the first stone. But now, maybe now, I could take a short rest, pick them up, carry some of the undeniable stress. However, if that's not what you intend, let me know now. Stop with the pretend. A temporary break from a converted felon? Nah, keep it. No need for the compelling. I've managed all this time. Go ahead. I've managed all this time. Got a hold of the small that is mine. Proud of us, we wrote our own story with permanent ink, clarity, and not allegory. Thank you.
Listen, this is the work, y'all. This is the work. I keep telling y'all, unmute yourself, give it up for Undetermined Cause.
Nice work.
Nice work.
Fire, well done.
I absolutely love poems that speak directly to people or ideologies or thoughts. And the way that you directed that, right? You said, now I see you, right? Check the box, motherfucker. Like, listen. I always go back to Lauryn Hill, right? Say all this, but I add a motherfucker so you ignorant suckers hear me, right? Listen, go ahead and say some shit, right? I'm a, child of a single parent household. My mom did so many things. Shout out to moms. Listen, shout out to moms doing everything they can, right? And still not casting the first stone. Whew. I know it's hard work, but we appreciate all that you do. You have the hardest job in the world. And if no one ever tells you, you are appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Undetermined Cause, for bringing that heat. Appreciate you. A mainstay of our community. Make sure you are plugging in with Undetermined Cause. Final two poets. Coming up next, this newest member of our community has come through and did some damage, right? Saw him on Thursday, also came through and was rocking with Lantern Carrier. But let me tell you, when you get a chance to hear this poet solo, it is just as amazing, if not more. The one and only Love Infinite is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you. It is great to see you rocking. Please take it away.
Ooh, thank you so much for that, Elemental. I finally got to see you perform on Sunday, and I was just so like, I have a poem in my head to write about you. I just wanted to let you know. And just the elements, it made me think of something. But so I honestly just finished today writing my finally finished my first ebook. And so that'll be dropping tonight, probably like midnight. And it's called The Fear Project. So it's about 41 poems, less than 60 pages. I hope that you all will get it. But regardless, I'm living. So I have two, maybe three poems. We're gonna see with the 3 minutes. But this first poem is called Nonstop Fulfillment. Well, actually, I'm gonna read this first poem called 3 Lousy Minutes first. Okay. I had to think about it in a cold shower. 3 lousy minutes ain't enough to flex my full power. How am I supposed to go Goku and show y'all what I'm super Saiyan when I only got 3 minutes to super say it? It's kind of whack. I ain't never fit in boxes this flat. Yeah, it's whack because I deserve a feature and a plaque. But they saying I gotta crawl before I walk. I'm saying fuck all of that. I think I got the goods now. Don't think I need no practice. I heard the unsaid, like play a team member role for a bit instead. Just being real, I'm tired of that shit. Like you need to stand up. I'm like, sit down, shut up and listen. I ain't so and so. This nigga here don't tap dance. I ain't really that competitive. You can beat my score on Pac-Man regardless, sitting up or upside down. My lines still impact them. Stop trying to regulate me. I just speak facts, man. Sometime in my past, someone said poets are liars who tell the truth. I wanted to say, speak for yourself. If you lying, that's on you. My poetry a prophesier, my poetry an oracle. They brought Neo to see my poetry, my stanzas straight miracles. Fuck you if you ain't fucking with me. One day you will, and I'll just keep using these 3 lousy minutes until the whole world knows the deal. For real. This next poem is called Nonstop Fulfillment. It's piping, it's warm, it's hot on the press. It is my time, nonstop fulfillment and happiness. Wish I could be in every room when they hear about my tour, a new city, a new experience. That's all I wanted and more. I can't pretend that this isn't what I've been waiting my whole life for. I can't pretend that I'm not grateful to receive the life of my dreams. I woke up to love and put a button on my trauma. I got better things to write about than how I was unloved by my mama. And plus, I still very much love my mama. When I get the $1 million million+ dollars, I'm gonna buy her therapy for all her trauma. And I won't buy her a house until she take care of her mind, but I'll be sure to pay off the mortgage since the abuse paid off in time. I've chosen to forgive and be forgiven. I've decided nothing y'all say matters more than this beautiful life I'm living. And I keep waking up beautiful and giving my all to the Most High. If you don't like it, then good riddance. My legacy just won't be all this pain, nor the fact that I suffered and overcame. The destiny is I found my destiny, and I knew it since a child. I wasn't ready then, but fuck it, I'm ready now. And then this very last poem is from the Fear Project. It's called Chemophobia. It's 2:28 p.m. and I delayed feeding myself to finish a book that I know will taste better than any chemical filled, artificially bred, born, cultivated, or flavored feast that I could pretend fulfills me. I'm in the matrix, bugged in like a fly on the wall, listening to Cypher tell Trinity that he rather pretend the stakes are real and as delicious as we've convinced ourselves they are. I don't want to eat slop in Zion either, but I'm starting to question the people I share the surface with and our collective complacency with letting our country poison us, any self in existence, especially the external selves who continue to buy the genetically modified crops and wonder why. They feel like a prop in their own featured story. I feel at peace, or rather I make peace with the fact that I cannot genetically modify anyone outside of my own chemical composition, and that it's not my fault that you won't stop smoking cigarettes, but you are indeed and in fact killing the earth. And maybe I'm being complicit in the slow death of a planet I love because I love you too. And that's all that I have for you guys today. I think that's my 3 minutes. Thank you.
I think that's all we can take in one dose, for real. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Love Infinite.
That's
job, Thank
My
you.
Monday night is not complete without you.
A whole new level of confidence.
That's all. Just that.
That's a whole new level.
Oh, the echo. I like that.
Right. Listen. I'm glad that the community, yelled at you, so I wouldn't be the only one in here yelling at you for all three of those poems. The 3 lousy minutes, the nonstop fulfillment, and the chemophobia. Listen, I woke up to love, put a button on my trauma. I mean, gotta crawl before I walk, right? So y'all can see what I'm super saying. So listen, they mentioned before they jumped off, they got the ebook jumping off. Make sure you plug that information into the chat. And how the folks can connect with you. The newest member of our community, clearly dedicated to burning it down every time they show up. But I appreciate you for that. Appreciate you also for being at D. Allen's feature this weekend too. All right. Also, shout out Unmesh Mohikar, who was not able to be here this evening. We have reached the closer of the evening. Before we get to that, shout out to all the folks who are watching on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Captain Flo is here to close out the evening. The author of Emotional Defibrillator, the one and only Daniel Fernandez, is closing us out this evening. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hello. I put my link tree in the chat. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, etc. You can also find my book on Amazon as well. Or you can DM me on Instagram and I'll have a signed copy. And for those on YouTube, it's Daniel 56781. Just like that. So I'm gonna close out with a piece that I did actually a couple months ago, but I remember performing on Open Minds, but not sure on New Yo. And it's called Fuck the American Dream. Fuck the American dream. You heard what I said. I chose my words right. I lived my life trying to be polite. Where did that lead me? Broke and working long nights. So this is what I get for being incredibly nice. Chase a dream and destroy your credit. Economy fails to meet standards the government inherit. If only life was simple, with debt collectors saying forget it. Make it all go away like connections with a Senate. It doesn't work that way. Well, you've guessed it. No one lives anymore. We go by percentage. As long as you got money, you have leverage. For the rest of us, we tie a noose to cope with a miscarriage. We strive for success to evade agony. Work to the bitter end like those who study anatomy. When times are tough, half of the population would hang off a balcony. That's the truth. Fuck morality. In reality, we are defined by our salary, not sexuality or hospitality. Glued to a gallery of forsaken confidentiality, the audacity demons have to neutralize a family, struggling to manage emotions when angry, dying to be free, literally and figuratively. In a concert, jumping in fervence, letting the bass vibrate the soul since joy is urgent. EDM with lights for LSD fans, tripping balls to meet the gods for guidance. Stock market, let's discuss this. Hoping research and being smart will craft bliss. Flipping money as some do houses becomes more addictive than salted chips. Keeping you up all night, praying for a change before the next day begins. Investing a paycheck to fortify the future, a pungent taste of defeat like a timorous producer, trying to study the market and become a financial computer, making trades to support a lifestyle of an amateur, getting your hopes up before the wake of a bear market, losing your portfolio, confirming you're a target, depressed, having you stand out more than a stained carpet, due to draining what was left in your pocket. Fuck the American dream. You made me say it twice. It gets me so stressed I can't properly write. We all think following our dreams will save us like the Dark Knight, a vigilante who can control senses or fight or flight. It's hard to understand, like managing a failed marriage, talking smack and abusing a beverage, lie about a wreckage due to being hectic. You can't cherish existence that life disrespected. The government makes profit on our downfall, throwing lottery tickets because one chance is what we all want, to be rich and have our needs bought, printing money and claim it's our fault. I understand, we all try our best. In a country filled with promise, I am ideally impressed. Disconnect logic as ambitions manifest. Destroy a heart for trying to satisfy the stress. We work pretty much to catch up to inflation. And as soon as we're comfortable, it all happens again. Our wages don't change since the system is filled with manipulation. Funny, because that isn't taught in our current state of education. Arrest the innocent and punish those who are left. Pay taxes and work until the pain pervades the chest. The laws and rules that burns our flesh. Everything is illegal when the right buttons are pressed. Fuck the American dream, because I did everything right. I worked, I invested to live a better life. I only got into debt for my credit to reach new heights. I lost all I had and now I can't afford shit regardless of the price. Now I work double my hours as if forced by a knife and deal with the consequences of just simply living life. Thank you.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, Captain Flo does that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Daniel Fernandez.
Great job, Daniel.
Up.
Beautiful, Daniel. Ah, always a pleasure to hear you.
Fire.
Love it.
That was amazing. A powerful poem. And by the way, we did see your mom's comment on our YouTube live stream last week. So if your mom is watching again and she identified herself as Mama Flo. Mama Flo, thank you for supporting your son and hope to see maybe both of you at a hybrid open mic. Elemental, I shouldn't pressure everyone here, right? You know?
Absolutely not. Shout out Mama Flo. Shout out Captain Flo for bringing it and closing us out this evening with a monster piece as he does, right? He says, no one lives anymore. We go by percentage. Yeah, right? Dying to be free, literally and figuratively. Listen, Captain Flo, anytime you start talking about that stock market, you know what I mean? You're going to get people blood boiling, man, right? Whether it's bull or bear, you got some hunters out there, right? Listen, a vigilante that can control fight or flight. The government makes profit our downfall, no doubt. Printing money and claim it's our fault. You know what I mean? Everything is illegal when the right buttons are pressed. Facts on facts on facts. Appreciate you, Captain Flo, for closing us out this evening and being a mainstay of our community. We have reached the end of the evening, y'all. I truly, truly appreciate all of y'all for hanging out with us for as long as you have. It's truly, truly the greatest community in the world, hypest night of the week. Make sure you are plugging in with all of the members of the community, with the squad, plugging in with everything the New Eurekan Poetry Cafe does. Listen, so many things coming up, so many things to plug into. Get some merch representing your part of the world. We will end the evening like this. Until we meet again, may this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agadir. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with you. Until next week, y'all. Peace and blessings.